back, I had the opportunity to repaint a 1981 V Strat. It was a candy apple red. Well, while I had the thing apart and the paint removed from it, I made templates using the body as a template to make the front and back of that Strat, and I even made one for the neck. I have a friend who wants to make Explorers. So he bought this kit and brought it over here. And now I'm making templates of that. First, I'm going to trace the neck. I got a few really sharp pencils and I've got it clamped on to my MDF board. And I'll just mark it out. Now to get the side that's sticking up here, I'm going to use a square, make a few marks. Using the digital caliper, I've measured at the nut and down at this end, got the right thickness, established a center line, and marked out the widths. I'm also tracing out the front of the headstock. I'm going to cut these out with the bandsaw on the outside of the line. The final shaping of the head with the sander. These straight edges, I'll put a straight edge on here and run it through the router. I'm going to have to buy another router. Just switching back and forth is getting old. I've measured from the center line. I put a straight edge on the neck. Got my pattern cutting router bit in here that I like to use. It's good for MDF, but that's about it. We'll straighten up this edge on this template. I've got templates underway on 3 guitar necks here. The one for the Explorer, one for this Thunderbird, and I've got one for a Jazz, Fender Jazz. Now I'm getting ready to make the template for this Explorer body. I took a lot of measurements to help find the center line of this guitar body. Once I got the center line established, I trace it out on paper. I've also traced it out on MDF. The size of these holes is 15/32. And if I was to measure and try to find the center of those, and even if I use a brad point, chances of me getting them exactly where they go would not work out. So I've found those hole locations by using a paper template, laying it on top of my MDF and finding those holes and making smaller holes that this trim router can fit through. I'm going to apply double-sided tape, and I like using this IPG tape. Works really good. You need something sharp to pick off the other side. It's the best way I found to get it going. I've got my 1/2-inch trim router set to where it rides on the body. Trim this template out. Here I'm going to slip the template over this router bit and take out this hole right here. Always turn off your router and let it come to a complete stop before you lift your piece off of this. So I've got the outside of the shape of the guitar, the pickup cavities. I've got smaller holes for where the bridge and saddle goes. Now I'm going to switch to this little 1/4 inch bit, fit through these holes to make the bigger size. Okay, so I've just done the first hole, and that drill bit fits in there just like it did on the guitar. So I'll do the next 3 using this little pattern bit. So I have successfully got the shape of the guitar, the pickup cavities, the neck pocket, and these holes for the bridge and saddle. It's time to make one for the back and get this cavity. It's easier on the router if you take out some of the cavity before you route it. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm finding a little bit of this tape goes a long way, so I'm putting less of it on. All right, I've got the cavity cut for the back, whole shape here. Less double-sided tape. Let's see. A little easier to come apart, and it did the job. I'm going to make a template just for cutting out the neck pocket, and I'm going to use this board right here. First of all, I got to establish a straight line down the middle. And I want to carry that all the way around, so I'm going to mark the ends that align with the center line. I've brought the center line around each end and over to the top. I'll line it up and establish a center line on the other side. I've got center lines marked in my neck pocket. After lining it all up, I lock it down with a couple screws. Like before, I'm going to drill holes big enough for a router bit to go through, but not as big as the hole. I've got a 1/4 inch trim router here. I'm going to stick it over and start it up and route that out. With the 2 templates fastened securely together, I'm going to place the guitar neck into this pocket and clamp it down. I'm making sure that the neck is straight with the center line. With the neck held firmly in place with clamps and blocks, I'm going to remove the upper template of the body. So now I'm going to add blocks surrounding the neck. Now I'm going to pull the neck out. There we go, a nice snug fit. Add the piece across the end. Remove the excess material. Completing the center line through the pocket. So when I take the kit body, put my template on the top, take my alignment pins, match it up to the holes for the bridge and tailpiece. This thing comes into perfect alignment. You can feel this is just right. And just gotta make sure your center lines are lined up. Here's the neck that came with the kit. Here's my template. That fits down in there very nice. Now if I take the body that came with the kit, stick the template in here, that's a good fit. It's pretty snug. I think it's time to put this template to the test. These patterns aren't that sophisticated, so I'm going to mark and maintain a center line. Make sure you subscribe, like, share with your friends.
Marvelous.